What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part one of the Acura Integra B18C1 GSR swap maintenance, and still trying to figure out what car we're going to be dropping this motor into. But right now we're just going to get to what we needed to, which is the clutch. If you watched the first video from the Honda Civic K24, you can notice that this is the same motor that came out of that car, and the clutch was super bad, so we definitely need to change that out. And it was leaking actually on the driver's side right over here, so most likely the water pump is going out as well. So we're going to be replacing that too with a new timing belt and getting this thing pretty much freshened up for whatever car we drop it into, whether it's an Integra or just a Civic swap. It'll be ready and ready to at least drive good and, you know, be a pretty good long-lasting motor for whoever wants to buy it. If someone might be interested in this motor, how it is, the full swap, which will include like ECU. This is a P72 ECU, OBD1, has the Type bar headers, has shift linkage. It's pretty much a full swap. It's got the harness and everything, so it's pretty much ready to drop in, especially if you're OBD1 92 through 95 EG or DC 94 through 01. So right now I'm pretty much going to start taking off this transmission. We got to get all these 17s around here, right here, right there, and then a couple on the back here. We'll take off the half shaft as well, and I think we got to get to the starter also. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking this transmission out, and then we'll come back and see what we got to do next. All right, so we got our clutch off, and as you can see, this thing was destroyed. There's no grip or feathers on this thing at all, especially on this side. I think the only reason why I was gripping was maybe because of this on this side, but yeah, it's pretty much no good. So that's off. We got our transmission off and everything. Next, I'm probably gonna take this flywheel off and go get it resurfaced, because that's not looking too good at all actually. And we also need to start getting to the timing belt actually. So in order to get that off, we got to take this mount bracket off. Most likely going to have to take off this valve cover. I think I haven't been on the B series in a while. This mount for sure, I already took this bolt and loosened it already, so the crank pulley is ready to come off. So I'm gonna start taking off these side bolts, and then we'll get to the valve cover as well. So it's 10s right here, 10s all around here, and we'll get that disconnected, and then we'll come back and start getting to the water pump and the timing belt itself. All right, so we pretty much got everything off as far as the timing belt and everything, and I set it at timing already, so it won't be too hard putting the belt back on. I cleaned the surface of the water pump, so now I can put the water pump kit and the timing belt and everything back on together, and then we'll toss on the clutch as well. So I'm gonna go ahead. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts that hold on, or maybe 4. I'm not sure if this one's even one. Just 4 bolts, and then we'll get that on, and then we'll come back and start messing with the timing. I'll show you guys all the points, so if you ever have to do one on a B series, you can pretty much know exactly where are the arrows and that. This valve cover's not on, so we'll get that off so you guys can see the actual arrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and start slapping this water pump on, and then we'll come back. All right, so we're back now, and now I can show you guys the timing marks and everything. So these are pretty much the ones that you want to match up, having the arrows up in the air. And then we have the timing mark right here, which is pretty much the timing mark right here on this arrow. You can really see that. So that's on there pretty much. Now I can wrap the belt around, and we can place our tension on it, and that'll be it. I went ahead and installed the new clutch already from Exetti, just a stage 1. Nothing crazy, just good enough to a little bit better than stock, or I mean, it'll work just as good for a stock setup, and maybe a little bit street power as well, like bolt-ons and everything. So at least I'll have a new clutch, and it will have all the timing and pretty much water pump components good on it. The head looks really good inside and everything. So like I said before, it's a strong engine. I drove it just had a bad clutch, but it still drove fine, no smoking or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this belt wrapped around, tighten up, and then we'll come back. All right, so we got our timing belt pretty much installed. Want to redo actually, or let me make sure it's actually where it's supposed to be. So you got your 2 marks right there, and then our mark pretty much right there. So it's pretty much TDC. Now I'm just gonna tighten this down, the bracket, mountain bracket, start getting the side cover put back on. Then we get the valve cover back on, and then we can slap on the new bearing for the transmission, for the throwout bearing. And then we'll slap it all back together, and that'll pretty much be it for this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out these covers, and then we'll come back. All right, so we got our transmission back on, valve cover, side cover, T-bracket, and half shaft is all ready to go now. I still gotta do the spark plugs and wires and everything, but I wanna clean up this motor a little bit more. So next time we'll be degreasing it and everything, getting it all ready. Either we're gonna swap it in or we're gonna sell the swap complete. If anyone is interested, let me know. I'll probably make you a deal on it. Other than that, if you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. See you guys on the next video.